Breaker 19, this is Coltrane to that Chevy Bison up on the Weenash. Got your ears on, good buddy?
Hello? Who's this?
Big 10-4 Bison Beans, I'm on the side hauling some go-go girls on the bounce. Just trying to stay out of the meat wagon, over.
Look, mister, I don't want any trouble. I was just trying to come out and do some off-roading with this sweet new GMRS radio I just installed from Midland.
Mercy snakes, Bison Beans, we've got bears wall to wall. You got the green light to bury the foot in the carburetor, up the super slab. Mighty fine country Cadillac you got there, over.
What?
Smoky on 4 legs, souped up Tijuana taxi, spaghetti bowl, nature stop with peanut butter in my ears. This is Coltrane, over and out. You guys like radios? That's it? Oh my gosh.
He is on the far side over there.
Are these radios gonna reach 8 miles apart? There is a whole city in between us.
Highs in the lower 40s to lower 50s.
Hey everyone, welcome to Jason Explains Things and welcome to Radio Day. It's Radio Day.
It is.
Today's video is going to be all about off-road comms, or overlanding comms, so we're trendy. But this is the MTX275. We're going to be installing this in my 2021 4Runner, and we're going to be installing it in Chris's 2021 Colorado ZR2.
This kit is designed to be fully portable, so it comes with a magnetic mounted antenna. So you can just plug in and go with this guy. But we are actually going to be mounting hardwiring through the firewalls of our respective vehicles and mounting permanent antennas. We are going to go through the placement on each individual vehicle with you and just let you know what we're gonna do, and we'll get started.
Awesome, let's do it. So let's talk about where we're gonna be placing the antenna on the 4Runner. So I'm gonna be using a ditch light bracket. Okay, so I'm gonna be going through this firewall pass-through grommet right here. That grommet I was talking to you about for the firewall is right up here. So to get at that, it's actually not that bad. We're gonna need to remove this trim piece right here, also this one. Then I can peel the carpet up a little bit so we can get at that. So inside the giant center console box here, there's already 12-volt power right there. And it's something, honestly, I wasn't really gonna use very much of. But then this just sits here like that. And then you're able to close this. And then the radio handset, which has all of your power and all your controls and everything, so you don't need access to the actual radio body, will be mounted right there. But let's check out the Colorado.
All right, so on the Colorado, we're gonna be doing a very similar install between the two vehicles, honestly. We're gonna flop it though. So I'm gonna be doing the driver's side. Again, ditch bracket, right up under here, a little stubby antenna, right up on the top. To pass through the firewall on this, we are actually gonna be utilizing an unused spot underneath the footwell on the driver's side for the clutch. If this was a manual, there's actually a spot for the clutch pedal to go through, coming through around the footwell, through the center console here for the antenna, and then inside here. Very similar, I'm gonna be mounting it onto the side, I think, on my truck, so we're gonna put the radio right about there. Again, you have kind of a pass-through. This guy will come down, and then we are going to mount to the same spot. Also temporarily for this truck, we're going to be running the power just straight out the back of the center console and plugging it into the 12-volt power in the passenger area, because in the near future, we are going to be mounting switches to this truck, replacement fog lights and replacement chase lights in the front and rear bumpers. So we're going to have switches here in the center console for that, which I'm also going to wire the power for the radio to. So that is coming soon.
All right, we're back in the shop to kind of go over the radios that we're both using, GMRS, all that kind of stuff. So before we go into all of that, here's what I bought today for the project. Also, besides how this looks, not sponsored, not at all. But you got the main radio kit. Then I have some handheld two-way radios kind of to use with spotters, or maybe somebody who comes along with us doesn't have one of these radios in their truck. They can use one of those. Or also, frankly, like family camping with kids and stuff. Just like, if like Marley or whatever goes and rides her bike, I'll hand her a radio and like, all right. And then I can, call her with the radio in the truck, and that'll be pretty cool. I'm excited about that. A 6-meter antenna cable. I need an extra long antenna cable. This is the 3 dB gain stubby antenna that we already saw. So that's kind of everything that I bought today. and you kind of got it slightly differently.
Yeah, so this is what I bought, right here.
Hey!
Which is everything that Jason bought just in one box, so.
Nice.
Yeah, essentially identical. And like you said, you can get all this on Amazon. So.
Yep. And if you use my link in the description, I get like 1% or 8% or whatever. I don't know. I don't know what it is anymore. I get like $1 or something.
Good.
So give Jason Explains Things $1.
Hooray!
Hooray! If you could kind of talk about the radio, Chris, and talk about GMRS and why we both chose it, you know, compared to CB and other options. So
Absolutely.
take it away, Chris.
So as far as the technologies go, CB has been, around forever, and it works, but there's just a lot better options out there now.
As far as technology is concerned, CB uses like AM essentially, and GMRS is FM. So if you've listened to AM radio and FM radio, you kind of get the quality difference. So
The cool thing about GMRS is it works obviously on its own bands, but it also works with FRS, which is the regular.
Hold.
What?
Ding.
It also works with FRS, which is the regular two-way walkie-talkies that everybody has
Every
had.
kid has several of these.
Exactly right. So it covers those bands and its own more high-powered bands, which is really cool.
Yeah.
But this is definitely, from what I can tell, the most popular in the overlanding off-roading.
More and more people are using them for sure.
There still is a license that you have to
Yep.
get.
$70 license for 10 years.
And it covers your entire family. You don't have to get one per person, which is really cool.
Yeah. And we both just recently got our call signs, and they were like within 10 digits of each other.
Yes,
or something.
very,
It's
very
funny.
close. It was funny.
I think it's going to be a pretty easy install. So
Let's get started.
Let's get
That was
started.
me. All right.
Cool. So what we're going to be doing, I'm going to use a utility knife and cut as small of a hole in there as possible, and then we're going to attach this as our fish wire to go through there. Oh, there it goes. This is my first time taking my 4Runner apart, so. Oh, okay. Yeah, there it is. Through? Hey, that wasn't that bad. Sweet. Are we doing a good job, Toby? Are we doing a good job? I think so. All right, yeah, there you go.
So this is the grommet that I'm going to use. Again, Amazon special, but they work great. I used it on my last truck. How this guy works is it's meant to be waterproof. So you push it all the way through and you see it's got kind of different staged holds. Basically you have these spots where you can, once you have all your wires run through, you can throw a zip tie around here, really clamp it tight so that you have no water ingress.
Hey, look at you. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Boom, and then we pop that in. All right. Okay, cool, so here is a Cali raised ditch light bracket. Goes in like so. So something that actually one of their install videos suggested that was really cool and makes this install pretty darn easy is what you do is just take one bolt out at a time. That way you don't have to realign your hood. So I'm just gonna loosen the top one first and then we'll do the bottom one. Don't forget your Loctite, Jason. It attaches to your antenna, which just threads in like this, and you got some slots on here to use a wrench. Whoa, don't scratch your new.
You're fine, it's all good.
Hey! That's it. Boom. Nope.
It's gone forever.
Squeeze. Looks good.
Looks great.
Sweet.
Mine's a little bit different. Instead of having the bolts that go up into the hood, this has got posts that come down from the hood and some nuts on here. So what I'm going to do is draw a little Sharpie line kind of around the contour here so that I can line it back up nice and easily. Okay, so now that I have those hand tight, I'm gonna grab the wrench, I'm gonna throw it on one of them, and I'm gonna kind of move the hood.
Hey!
There we go.
Awesome. Matching! All right.
Onto the inside.
Okay. All right, we got a lot of extra antenna cable, but we'll hide this under the dash later. But now we can move on to removing our top pieces here of the center console so we can route our wire. This is actually on a Toyota really easy. Whoa! Were you recording that?
Yep.
Okay, good. Okay, I just gotta say something. I love Volkswagen, but I've taken parts of my interior apart to run, I installed the subwoofer like 5 years ago. Just the fact this is all like pop, pop, pop. Like, this is blowing my mind. We just got a wire loom right here that we're running along next to. So we're gonna go ahead and drill our hole for our antenna. I'm gonna be using a unibit, and actually the size I need is 7/8, which is all the way down to the bottom of this. And then I got my right angle drill, so that nicely fits inside the glove box. And then I have a grommet set from Amazon that I'll link to. That was actually really cheap. It was like 120 grommets for 10 bucks. So I'm gonna be using a 7/8 grommet. All right, well that was easy. All right, so we actually, I made a mistake. I'm glad my grommet kit came with some plugs, so we fixed it, but have a look over here. So I put my radio in like this, and I realized that because of the antenna end here is essentially like almost 2 inches long, this hole was not gonna be deep enough for me to put the radio in. So we had to plug that one, and we had to drill another one underneath down here. We couldn't film that one because that one needed to be Chris watching with a flashlight while I drilled. So it's the exact same thing, but as you see, low and all the way down and to the right. And be careful again of this. So you want to just be as far into that corner as possible. So that's where we got it, and we got this plugged up. So not too bad.
All right, we're gonna move on to this one. So I have everything kind of loosely while you were futzing around in there. I took the trim off here and it's just laid in there. So we'll show you how to pull it up and out and show you what we're gonna do on this one. This center trim piece comes off nice and easy. It's the exact same clips that they had on the side, just like that. And then, same thing with this. You just pop a trim tool under here and this whole tub pops out.
Gosh dang it.
So you thought yours was easy. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drill a hole right here. We're gonna run the grommet right there. And then the reason I pulled it out is we're gonna have to fish. We got a whole lot more stuff to fish through here. I'm gonna run it through that hole. All right, Jason, what are we doing?
Okay, so we've committed, so we're committing. All right, so doesn't that look good? It does.
It does.
It does.
It really
but
does.
But not good enough because this little lip right here that I've already kind of touched a little bit goes down. So what I'm gonna need to do is notch a little bit of this out with a Dremel. Notch, closes. I see a nice little space here. I'm just gonna stick this whole thing up into. All right, well, we gotta test these radios out, but that'd be kind of boring to do here. So let's jump cut to us in the middle of nowhere. Boom.
I'm going to talk British in front of the camera.
British.
All right, Chris and I are back out in the middle of nowhere, having some fun, doing some off-roading, and checking out our new radios. Hey, Chris, can you hear me?
Can you hear me all the way back there?
All the way back here, I can hear you, absolutely.
Hey, so what do you think? How have you liked the radio in the past week since we put them in?
Well, I mean, using them has been great.
We've done that long-range test. I don't know when you're going to cut this into the video, but we've done the long-range test, and that worked out way better than I think both of us anticipated.
So let's go ahead and do that long-distance test right now.
Ha-ha! Cut to the tape. All right, so I am on my respective side of the valley, out where I live. Jason is going to be roughly that way.
All right, I am at the top of another trailhead that I frequent for mountain biking quite often. Chris is way in the distance, probably, I would say, right at the top over there. So that is 8 miles away. We sent each other GPS coordinates. If it reaches all the way to there, That's awesome.
Chris, can you hear me? Can you hear me all the way over there? Over.
I can hear you great, buddy. That's insane.
How far away are we now?
We are almost exactly 8 miles.
Wow, that's really cool. Really cool.
Hey, well, I think we need to pull over here.
And if you don't mind, give us a basic rundown of the handset and all the controls and features and stuff.
Sounds good. Let's do it. So we'll start on top with power. Press and hold to turn it on and off. It is surrounded by your channel up and down. So you can channel up and down quite a few channels. Your lower channels are the lower powered channels, the ones that will interface.
FRS ones?
Yes, the ones that will interface with FRS. You have your menu in here, which when you press that, you have unintelligible letters and numbers, and you definitely want your manual for that.
You need the manual, yeah.
But all your good stuff is in there. Right in the center here is your volume up and down, pretty straightforward there. Weather channel, this is pretty cool. So you can hit this at any time for local weather.
Up to 25 miles per hour in the evening.
It's pretty fast. Your open comms. The last one though, this one's pretty important. I like this quite a bit when you're off-roading. Things get jostled around, things get bumped, knees slap things. Once you find a channel that you guys are all going to agree upon, press and hold your lock button. And that locks you on the channel. So now you bump it all you want, you stay on the same channel. Very nice.
Hey, we are at the top of where?
Monastash Ridge, I believe, is where we're at.
We're at the top of Central Washington. We've got Ellensburg over there. We've got Sela and Yakima over there. And it's beautiful. Thanks for coming along, Connor. Say you're welcome.
You're welcome.
Good job. And thanks for coming, Toby. All right, well, that is it for this video, everybody. If you want to watch more of our off-roading videos, check out our Overland DIY playlist. We've got more projects and adventures planned, like off-road lights and switches for your Colorado.
Lights and switches coming by Baja Design, so that's going to be great.
And more front-end armor and recovery points is probably the next thing you're going to see on the Toyota. Go ahead and follow us on Instagram. You and me.
Yeah.
We both have Instagram pages.
Things below.
Right there.
Yeah.
Follow us for previews of upcoming stuff. Also, subscribe and share this video and smash the like button.
Smash it!
Smash!
Chris demands it. It's on my script. All right, until next time, everyone, don't forget to do it yourself. You guys can go home.
See ya.
All right, bye.
Bye.